10 interesting facts about Tal and Tanu. 1. Tal are the only naturally occurring elf-like race that exists in Tanu. They are gray-skinned with pointy ears with very little coloration in their hair. The length of their ears have no meaning whatsoever, with some having much longer ears than others. There are the Isaldi, or the isolated, who wish to remain in the frozen lands of Andoria, underground where it is safe, but at a place where they can continue to watch for the comings and goings of the Corlinians. There are also the Galindi, or the traveled, who wish to explore the world and witness what else exists in Tanu besides the dark cold of the north and the suffering it brings. 2. The Tal were originally made at the beginning of time, along with some of the other races. They went by the name Stone Elves, which is what others called them. When they unified as a singular nation and stood their ground against the undead of the north, the name their people gave themselves was the Tal, or Proud. 3. When the undead of the north invaded Andoria, the birthplace of life in the world, the Tal and the original dragons called Sashaheath stood against them. The Flount, or Mer people, did attempt to fight as well, but like the others eventually fled their homelands in search of far away and safer places to dwell. The original dragons were all slain in the war, which the Tal saw as a binding between their kinds, the willingness to die alongside each other to the last. The Tal dug deep into the earth and closed up their people so the undead could not find them. After 1,000 years, they finally opened up their tunnels again permanently to the surface and began constructing settlements over their underground cities, slowly retaking Andoria for themselves and claiming the treasures of the past. 4. Tal care greatly for one another and dragons, seeing honor in their deaths. The greatest titles a person can acquire in their society is Great Worm, with children called hatchlings, then a youngling. When considered an adult based on their deeds, a youngling becomes a scaled. After time, if their honor grows in their society, they become an elder, then an ancient, and eventually, through deeds unfounded in their lifetimes, a singular person becomes the Great Worm. Only one may exist at a time. If a Great Worm feels another deserves their title, they may bestow it upon another, thus giving them the title of Twilighted. 5. The settlement under the old kingdom of the past dragons is called Lothaldi, Home of Riches. This place is known for great scrolls of wisdom that the past Sashaheath had written, old lore and knowledge blessed to them by the untethered primordial deities of the universe. 6. Tal are known for their healing powers and their ability to commune with rock and other seemingly non-sentient things of the world. They also are known for growing very physically resilient over time, seeming to acquire tougher and harder skin with age. 7. Many Tal consider it a great shame that they even still exist. When the past Sashaheath all fell and died, the Tal hid in the earth to preserve their species. They made a cultural promise that they would never run again where friends stand and fall. If they feel someone they care about is in danger, or if they believe their defense is needed to protect what they love, they consider it a lifelong dishonor to live while those they love die. 8. The Tal worship the untethered primordial deities, feeling since those beings brought all other gods into existence, they are the ones to show true reverence to. The untethered do not show themselves to the Tal, nor have the Tal ever encountered them, beyond through the messages that the lower gods of Tanu tell them about the primordials. They choose to continue to worship, even if it is a faith and not a knowledge. 9. Tal are not very good with technology, seeing as how they have been isolated underground for 1,000 years. They find the customs of the other cultures strange and often need things explained over and over again in order to fully understand them. Tal are also very apathetic towards whining or complaints that do not deal in actual life or death. 10. The Grey Watch, or the Celebrime, as they are called in the Tal language, is an organization that was founded by the Tal culture as a scouting group that would travel along the forest lines of northern Andoria to watch for the comings and goings of the Corlinians. It was considered a great honor to become one of the Celebrime. They were known for disappearing into the cold mists of the north and not leaving tracks or creating sound in their travels. As the traveled made their way south into the rest of the world, others learned about the Grey Watch and wished to join. Many recruits of the Grey Watch come from the Northern Wastelanders Gauntlet. Since the people of the Gauntlet view themselves as the wall against the north, the people of the Gauntlet end up wishing to go even further north and become part of the Watch beyond the wall. The great disappointment for many was that the Grey Watch would only take younglings into training, for it took a long time to learn their special techniques of travel. Those that the Grey Watch considered not worthy to become part of the Grey Watch would often become a scouting party for them.